Morning, peace and blessings. I just want to continue on what I usually make my content about, spiritual warfare and the correlation between, narcissism and having demons attached to your vessel, demonic agents, NPCs, whatever you want to label it as. I just want to talk about urgency. And excuse me for my voice. It's like 5:03 in the morning. I just had a conviction. I was just, usually I'd be, up, early in the morning sometimes, preparing things for, new videos and, my Instagram and things of that sort. But I just want to talk about urgency. These are the end times. This world is demonically programmed, like I usually talk about. So it is of a reprobate mind. It is of a carnal mind. Everything is, distraction filled. People don't understand the urgency that they should be, under. The haste they should be taking in, getting close to God and connecting to God, Yahweh. Urgency. People in your community has chosen, life of this world, or as lover of God. They'll see you as trying to, your pastors, in your community, your spiritual leaders, whatever of that sort. They'll see you as, trying to take their job from them or look better than them. People are more focused on jealousy of who you are and the light that you carry than the actual purpose and the things that you're trying to do. They're more focused on the jealousy factor of who you are and what you carry than what you'll actually do on your purpose, what you'll actually get done in your spiritual journey, which is things that are detriment to the kingdom of darkness. I bear my cross daily. It is not an easy task. This world is very demonic. This is a simulation. This is a matrix. It's not easy to bear your cross daily, but it is something I rejoice in, I cherish in. I have something of the spirit of haste, the spirit of urgency, because I understand these are the end times, and most people around me just don't understand it, or they just don't live like it. They don't live and abide by that fact that these are, the end times, that the days where foolishness and carnal-minded things and reprobate-minded things, are come foremost in your life, are done. The days where, the pastors of your communities' teachings and the ways that they went about doing things are done. The ways that you thought about this earth and how it was to be run societal-wise is done, because these are the end times. Everything is changing rapidly, in haste and in urgency. These are the end times. Mark of the Beast is literally in production. It was talked about, shown, pre-production, a few times, on the news. It's slowly being produced. The U.S. dollar is about to crash. You heard the noise strike. I don't know if you hear the noise instructions, but I'm sorry about that. I can't really do nothing about that. It's gonna happen sometimes. It's just the matrix. It is what it is. I am chosen. I am light of this world. That's what happens when I, make videos. I push a high vibrational frequency into this world just by existing. So I can't really do anything about that. I apologize for that. But like I was saying, urgency. I just want people to realize, even if you aren't chosen, if you're just a lover of God, if the pastors in your community, if your social group, if your, work associate group is not, acting like, they want to connect to God, it's with urgency, if they're not running to the Bible after work, or always, constantly, every other day thinking about God, and they're just repetitiously sinning and being carnally minded and just being foolish and being, what narcissists usually do, distraction filled, from their own, self-hate. Um, then you need to get away from them with urgency. You need to connect with people who love God. God will do that as well, but you need to put that in the back of your mind. Everything that is the Bible's end time descriptions is being done in this world. It's being shown. It is now. These are the end times. Everything that the Bible describes the end times to be is literally now. People just don't understand it because they're carnally minded. They're foolish. This world is demonically programmed so people will be narcissistic. So you will be emotionally immature at 35. So you wouldn't be able to see these things because you wouldn't really be caring about them. You'll be too busy focused on what's going on TikTok and reality TV shows at 42. It's demonic programming. Like, people just don't understand it. People aren't as mature as me emotionally and have the same IQ as me and the same mindset as me, brain functionality as me. I'm a Sigma male. I have a high IQ. I'm chosen one. I'm light of this world. Many factors that go into how high my brain functions, and it just they're all for good. They're all for the better. So I just overstand these things of this matrix, of this world, of this physical realm. God activates people who are chosen to preach the gospel. You can have many various jobs as a chosen one, but specifically to preach the gospel, to awake people spiritually, to let people know what's going on. I take it serious. I gave up my social life for this at 28, 27. I gave up my social life for this. It's more important to do this than to go to somebody's club that I went to 5,000 times. It's more important to do this than to, date, 50,000, low value women, who, I'm never gonna, marry. Might end up getting one of them pregnant, and it's gonna be an abomination to my, my lineage. This is more important than, hanging in the hood with my friends and then doing the same things that we did since we were 12. I can't really understand the carnal mind. I've never had a carnal mind since maybe I hit older years, later adolescence. Haven't had a carnal mind for a while. I left my carnal mind in my adolescence years, and people just haven't able to do that. They're narcissistic, or have narcissistic tendencies, so they're emotionally immature. So they were never allowed to to grow, especially spiritually. And it just shows how people carry their vessel. I'm chosen Connecticut. These people understand who I am, like this world. It took a while for people to, kind of accept it. They activated me through jealousy, through pure jealousy, through throwing lies at me, slandering me, all types of foolish, carnal-minded things, and stupidly activated me, to be honest, with the urgency. Now these NPCs, these demonic agents are trying to accomplish something they can't do, which is put me back to sleep. But they don't understand, once you activate someone who's chosen, you can't deactivate them. It doesn't work that way. You can just distract them from their purpose. That's the next step. But I can't be distracted. I understand who I am now. It doesn't even matter. And I take the seriousness of people waking up with urgency. Yeah, I understand that people are going to follow that broad path to hell by the trillions, because people are foolish. They're carnal minded. They're sheep. They're followers. They're lazy. They're spiritually dead. The narrow path is something that few will walk. Few will bear their cross. In the years to come, when things get really, really, really rough for lovers of God, few will bear their crosses. Few will walk this narrow path. Few will glorify God, exalt God, unashamed. Few will truly be lovers of God openly. But I will. You know, people in my community, most likely in your community, that are spiritual, have no urgency in the message they preach. They have no urgency. Because they are the kingdom of darkness. They are NPCs, they are demonic agents. They are putting your life around you to keep you asleep spiritually. The devil doesn't want nobody to spiritually level up, to understand what's really going on in this demonic world, how this world is under a spell of witchcraft, to keep people spiritually asleep. He wants everyone distracted, everyone splitting their souls with thousands of partners, you know, sexually. He wants everyone smoking, you know, drugs, you know, drinking liquor, you know, following these demonic celebrities, you know, worshiping clothes and money and cars and, you know, doing all of that stuff, you know, throughout the week and going to church on Sunday, and then you're holy. He wants us to be loving of damnation. That's the devil's plan. That's these Freemasons' plan. He wants us to accept damnation. That is a fate I will not accept. That is a fate that is not mine. I've never signed up to be a Freemason. I've never wanted to be a Freemason. I've never wanted to be part of anything cultish, anything of demonic origin or pagan origin. It is not something I signed up for. Many of my family have. Many of my old friends have. Maybe many of people that I know have. But this is nothing that I have signed up for, and I never will. I love God. I've always loved God. I will serve God till the day I die. And I will not die because I'm chosen. So I will serve God for a long time. Until Jesus descends, the trumpet sound, the dead will rise, and true lovers of God will rise after them. So I will serve God for a long time. Freemasons control this world. They push demonic propaganda, agendas, music, fashion, culture, demonically pushed into this world with the urgency. So to counteract that, God elected people to be chosen, to preach the gospel with urgency. And if the people around you are not doing that, they are not of the kingdom of light. They are of the kingdom of darkness. Anyone still acting like it's party world, everything is okay and everything is all right. There's nothing new to talk about, like Mark of the Beast and all this. They're of the kingdom of darkness. They don't want people to go nowhere but hell. They don't want you to get to heaven with the urgency. They don't want you to clean up your life spiritually, your connection with God spiritually with the urgency. They don't want people to wake up spiritually with the urgency. They want people to get a ticket to the yellow brick road that is the broad path to hell. They're going to give you a ticket right to the yellow brick road or the broad path or the broader path. But these Freemasons, these NPCs, these demonic agents, these narcissists will do everything to block people from the narrow path. Everything to keep you away from loving God, from thinking about God, from getting closer to God. Anything and everything for the kingdom of darkness, that is what they do. Parties, drugs, sex, immoral sex, anything that the Bible tells you not to do, if the people around you are doing, then you obviously know what kingdom they are under with the urgency. You know where they're urgently going. You know where they're urgently trying to get to. It is hell. You have to see it, you have to understand it. Because anybody urgently trying to get to heaven is taking the time right now, like I have been doing, like others have been doing before me and after me, to fix their business with God and get it correct, because this is the business of souls. And time is going to run out soon. People cannot wait till Jesus descends to be sorry for wasting time and not connecting with God. Because Jesus will say, I do not know you. And that is it. Because this is the business of souls. God is giving us ample time to connect with him, to become spiritual, to reflect on his word, to bear your cross with urgency. People seem to want to waste time. Don't let anyone waste your time and destroy and deter you from your spiritual connection with Yahweh. Because it's detrimental to your soul. These narcissists, these NPCs are parasites. If you let them personally connect to you in your personal life, they're parasitic spiritually. They're spiritually dead. If you lay with a person who is a narcissist, who is an NPC, who is a demonic agent, you gain their curses. You also gain their blessings, but you gain their curses if you're not married to them. And the way people carry their vessels now, they're aligned with people by the thousands every year. So that's 1,000 curses from random people you will not be with when you are 5 years down the line, that you attain to your vessel. That is something these celebrities don't teach when they're rapping about promiscuous sex. These sexy reds, the Megan Thee Stallions, these harlots. They're teaching these young women to split their souls by the thousands every year. With the urgency, because they are the kingdom of darkness. You have to see it, you have to understand it. Everything that is evil is good, everything that is good is evil. These are the end times. John Bone Jones, I believe his name was, UFC fighter. He thanked God for, winning a fight and things of that sort. And the announcer, was ticked off. Save God for home and things of that sort. You can test people's spirits. You talk about God nowadays, people will either join in with you in a blasphemous undertone, or they'll get angry because they're demonic agents. They're demonic agents. They're demon riddled. They're narcissists. They hate God. They're antichrist in spirit. They're antichrist in spirit. They hate God. They'll either join in with you in a sarcastic undertone, which you have to be savvy to catch it. How blasphemous people is. or they'll blatantly just show you that they hate God. People, I mean, it's either or. It's either these are the end times. You have to urgently connect yourself with God. You cannot allow anybody to fool you. You cannot allow the masses to fool you. Majority of the world is spiritually dead, and they want you to be just like them, spiritually dead, because they split their souls by the thousands every year, on dating sites and, linking with random people, collecting their blessings and, all this craziness. Being sexually immoral, being idolaters, gluttons, drunkards, a lot of collection of sins that people added to their vessels before 2020. So when demonic forces was able to create vessels, demonic agents, and jumped in people's vessels, biologically hacking them, people's vessels were already empty. By the time 2020 hit and the end times marked, people's vessels were empty already from the way they carried themselves spiritually. A narcissist, a 10-year-old brain in a 40-year-old's body. It sounds like somebody that would be susceptible to demons and demonic possession to me. A foolish adult, raising children, probably has a normal 9-to-5 job in the community, that is just emotionally immature, easy to control, easy to fool, easy for demonic possession, easy to blend right into society. Doesn't have to say much, doesn't have to do much. This world is demonically controlled. This world is under a spell of witchcraft. People are demonically possessed. I talk about it on my YouTube all the time. I've shown many examples on my Instagram, and I will continue to do so. If you do not believe it, if you are on my Instagram like these people do, I went viral on a video I was showing of Cardi B when she was showing her horns. I call it showing her horns. She's demonically possessed. And it's a toss-up, of people who, believe and people who don't. But if you do not believe it, what is it, in front of your own eyes? You're of the kingdom of darkness, and you just wish it to be swept under the rug. These people, these demonic agents, wish this demonic behavior to be swept under the rug in 2020, but they didn't anticipate the age of technology. And first and foremost, Yahweh, God. He's going to activate people to counteract this demonic world. Not everyone wants to go to hell, like these Freemasons seem to want to run to in urgency. Not everyone wants to go to hell. That's foolishness. Just because their neighbors want to, and their neighbors and their neighbors. That's foolishness. That's carnal-minded. That's reprobate-minded. These people seek to go to hell just because their neighbors will. Pray for the gift of discernment, to be able to test people's spirits, to be able to know who's really around you. Because most likely it is an agent of Satan sent to either monitor you or distract you from who you are. And if you are listening to this, you most likely understand you might be chosen. So pray for the gift of discernment. Get them agents of Satan out your life with the urgency. Connect with God 100% with the urgency. Bear your cross 100% with the urgency. This is the business of souls. Do not let people who have their business good with Satan to a golden ticket to the devil's chocolate factory mess up your business with God on this narrow path to heaven. We can't mix. We have to separate. It is inevitable in this life. The kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of light cannot mix. People will show you their horns before you are able to understand what that means. And then once you understand what that means, you'll see it every day. People will show you their horns every day. Once you have the gift of discernment, the ability to see spirits, people will show you their horns every day. You just have to know what to look for. You have to know and understand what it is and what you're looking for spiritually. And God will show you, Yahweh. Like he has shown me, like he has shown others before me who laid the groundworks for me to understand this world and what it really is. You have to bear your cross with the urgency. The times that we had to drag our feet spiritually, to drag our feet with our connection with God and making it whole and becoming 100% connected and fully invested in God's exaltation and it's done. It's come to an end. If you do not love God, I understand. Then you are of the kingdom of darkness, and that is fine and dandy. But if you love God, Yahweh, if you love Jesus, Yeshua, and his teachings, and seek to mirror them in his walk, you have to bear your cross with the urgency. Like I always say in the end of my videos, pray for the gift of discernment. Cloak yourself the armor of God. Become a prayer warrior. And peace and blessings.